What up, guys? CJ here, bringing you guys week 4 NFL podcast. Man, last week worked out good for us in the VIP, and it was a good week overall, man. As always, you know, I come up on here with my buddy T, who's gonna give you guys Thursday night plays every Thursday, and I'll be throwing in. I'll actually give you guys a prop play for that one today. But what's going on, T? How you doing, man?
Well, how are you, my guy?
Good. So we got a bonus one from you today that I don't even know yet, but you have a play that you're like radaring in on that I want to know for Sunday. But first of all, we'll start with Thursday to see what you got for Thursday. Obviously, it's a short rest, but let's get right into it, man. There's no like jibba jabba, whatever. Let's just get into it, man, because we know we can go long with these NFL podcasts, especially now that we have more data on everything, man.
For sure.
So we'll get right into it. Tomorrow we got Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants. Dallas is lane 5.5. It was actually lane 4.5 2 days ago. Over under 45.5. To me, it going from 4.5 to 5.5 doesn't mean it's sharp money. Like, that could just be fucking fluff. It's just overreaction. The public, they're like, oh no, Dallas has to win this game. But do they? I don't know. Do they? Like, yeah, everybody has to win. The Bengals had to win on Monday. Let's be real, but they fucking lost. So just because you have to win doesn't mean you're going to cover. But man, I want your take on it. What are you giving? Is this like a pizza money type free pick? Nothing serious, or is it?
Yeah, I would say so. It's not my.
Cool.
It's not one of my locks of the week.
Okay,
so.
okay. Well, what do you got for us? By the way, I have a player prop on this one for you guys that are listening. So let me hear what you got for this one, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, for sure. I'd probably lay the Cowgirls.
You probably lay the Cowgirls.
They came off a big loss. They're probably gonna have to bounce back, and I think they could do that at home versus a divisional team.
No, they're on the road.
Oh, they're on the road.
Yeah, they're on the road lane 5.5. Does that change your perspective?
I'd probably keep it the same.
He's so zoned into his Sunday game that he probably didn't realize they were on the road. That's why.
Yeah, I definitely did not.
I knew you're zoned into the game, and I want to pick your mind on it, but we'll get to that one later. So you're saying Cowboy, like the 5.5 is not too much from you? It doesn't scare you away? Nothing, no big deal.
I'll be good to rock with it.
Pizza money, Cowboys 5.5. There's a little stat. Home teams that are because these two are division games, right? Home teams that are division dogs on a Thursday night actually cover. I want to say it's around 42% of the time, which is not high. It's pretty low. So home divisional dogs cover not often. Let's put it like that. So the fact that you're taking the Cowboys is strong for that trend. So that's a good one, man. Yeah, I guess looking at that, realistically, I haven't made my personal play on it yet. Sometimes I don't even have a play on the game. Sometimes I like a total or whatnot. But the Cowboys do have to win. I agree, especially with that trend. It's hard not to say, like, it's pretty much hard to say this. Check it out. Am I willing to go down betting the Cowboys and saying fuck it if they don't cover or lose, right? Like, or am I willing to go down betting Daniel fucking Jones at the 5.5? Like, which one are you going to feel stupider on?
Right.
I think personally I'd feel stupider on Daniel Jones, which I've done it before. Let's be real, I have. But that's just my mentality on it.
Right.
Well, my player prop on that is actually, speaking about Mr. Daniel Jones, historically he just does not do well against the Dallas Cowboys secondary. And I know Dallas secondary is... Actually, it's not as bad as their run defense, just so you know. Their run defense is actually what's horrid. That's what's getting people to move the ball on them very easily. Kamara, and obviously you had Henry last week with Lamar Jackson. But and the Browns obviously can't really run the ball, and they rely on Watson, and you see what happens when that happens. That's who the Cowboys have played. But I'm going to go under on 202.5 passing yards for Daniel Jones because the Cowboys their division games, they're very familiar with each other. I don't think Dable's going to put him in a situation where Parsons is going to chase him around. And I think there will be limited opportunities for passes in that game. The only way I see that player prop going over is junk time. You're dumping it to the running back. You know, he's getting 5-10 yards at a pop for no fucking reason, right? But that's one of my player props. It's these Thursday night games, man. They're always kind of like, right?
Sure.
Yeah, you're not too excited about it, are you?
About this game?
Yeah.
I mean, probably should be.
I mean,
good
we're
game,
we're
right?
excited because it's an NFL game. Let's be real. We're not
Yeah,
sitting.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so we're not sitting here saying like, "Oh fuck!" Like, good thing it's not just only MLB on a Thursday, right?
Right.
Yeah, we love the NFL. Let's not get it twisted here. But okay, so we got that's T's Thursday night football pick. You're pretty much on the do or die with the Cowboys laying the 5.5. The 5.5 doesn't scare you on the road. And I gave that player prop on the Daniel Jones, but let's keep going on to the games and break them down because I really want to know what your play is. Let's go to the next game. How about this? You want to do your like your big play? You want to give it right now, or you want to give it as we're scrolling through the games? I'll let you pick on that one, man.
We can do it as we're scrolling through games.
Cool. Okay. Next game on the board is Falcons Saints. Falcons at home laying 2.5 points against the Saints. The Saints go marching. Oh man, that's a low line, but I think both of these teams have offensive line questions. Didn't two offensive linemen for the Falcons go out on Sunday?
I believe so. Correct.
And then the Saints, because we were on the Saints at -2. I was on the Saints at -2. I shouldn't say we because you were not. But they actually lost their center in the first drive of the game. We all know that a center is a very, very, very huge, important part of that offensive line. That's snap counts, that's pulling plays. I don't think I think that it did hinder them a bit, but I don't know how that'll play a role into this coming week. I don't know if they're going to adjust to it. I think the 2.5 is... I think they're baiting you to play the Falcons, but I also feel like the Falcons isn't a horrible play. It just comes down to if Kirk Cousins is going to be able to throw a ball against that defense with that time on the line, or if they're going to be able to run the ball, right?
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, he has weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah, he does have weapons and everything. But, I mean, how do you what do you think about that line? You think it's pretty accurate? You think it should be higher?
I think it's pretty accurate. You?
I think it's pretty accurate. I believe it was technically like the look-ahead line on the game, which is like a couple weeks ago, was -3. But I think what happened was Atlanta suffered those injuries on Sunday night, and they had that loss against the Chiefs. So then what happened there was just they dropped it down a little bit. I saw it as low as 1 a couple of days ago, by the way.
Right.
Yeah. So saw it as low as 1. But that lines are pretty much accurate. I think if you're going to play that game, you should definitely dig in a little more into it because there's definitely, with the offensive line questions, you're going to have to know who's playing, who's not playing in order to really cap it correctly. That's just my opinion. Let's go to next game, though. We got Colts and Steelers. Have you seen the line on this game?
Yes, I have actually.
You have? Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think about this line? It's Steelers -1 right now. It's pretty much a pick 'em.
Yeah.
So what?
That's actually my play.
Oh wow, is it? Okay. Who's your play? If you don't mind me asking, now I want to know.
Indianapolis Colts.
Indianapolis Colts. That's his play. That's who he's been in the lab looking at. He's gonna lay his however many figures he has on it, and wow, give me a breakdown on that one, man. I want to know what your thoughts are on that one. Why you're so confident? Because it's a really close line, but why is that your pick? Why is that your play? That you're so confident in, I guess.
I think they're the home team. I think the Steelers have a quarterback that plays within the system, which the Steelers are a team where if you're up 10-0, 14-0, anything of that sort, you probably got the game at hand almost. You know what I mean? It's just jumping off to a fast start, and I think the Colts will do that at home, and I think they'll get the win, and the Steelers will get their first loss. Okay,
and honestly, I do see where you're coming from with that, especially even the value point of jumping out ahead. In that game, personally, just looking at it, as you're saying that, right? I even think as long as you don't get behind the Steelers by more than one possession, you're okay. Once you're behind them by more than one possession, that's when they unleash the pass rush on you. They bring in Watt.
It's the other way around, too. If you're up by 2 possessions on them, I mean,
That's what I'm saying, yeah. So, they're a team, you're right. They are a team that has to play from ahead because they unleashed the defense, which I do believe in. And yeah, Fields has been getting, I guess, the luck of the draw, I should say. Not really luck of the draw, but he's just been in fortunate situations where he
I was
hasn't.
watching his tape too. I was watching his quarterback.
Yeah, he
tape.
hasn't had to do too much. Go ahead. What break something down on that QB
He
tape?
just, I mean, the way the offense is ran, there's so many checkdowns for him there to be safe. There's a couple routes where he had a guy open in the middle of the field. I mean, you got two defenders, but he can make that throw. You know, he can make that throw. Doesn't, checks it down.
So he's playing timid.
He's just a conservative quarterback, and I feel like if you're up on them by a couple of possessions and you got Fields that's throwing, I mean, it's more into your favor. I think the Colts being at home, I think they'll jump up top. You know.
Yeah, I'm sure Shane Steichen's going to muster up some play calls that's going to throw the defense off. So I can see that.
Not necessarily that. I mean, a lot of things can happen. The Steelers can throw a pick. The Steelers can fumble and on their side of the ball. And I think the Colts being at home, I think yeah, it should be a good game.
And honestly, the trends when there's a game, obviously there's Steelers are 3-0, the Colts are 1-2, Steelers are -1. The trends just over time would say, hey, the Colts are a spot here. You know, win or lose, they're a spot here. And I think the reason they're a spot is in this situation for you. I think you broke it down correctly, but there's no reason that a 3-0 team against a 1-2 team should just pretty much be a pick 'em. I mean, you would expect them to maybe be -2.5, but I think the odds makers know something, and I think you've dug into some value there that the odds makers are thinking too, right? Because they know they're going to get Steeler money. Let's be real.
Right.
They know they're getting Steeler money. So okay, Indianapolis Colts, man. I can see the play. I can see why you're doing it. I'd have to look into it a little more, but I'm gonna wish you luck, and I'm gonna look into it a little more now because I respect your opinion. So I'm definitely gonna see. It's just going to be if Richardson can get off to that hot start. I mean, I do think you have one advantage for you there, which is Richardson using his legs against that pass rush. He's not going to be a sitting duck, right?
For sure.
So cool, man. All right. Wow, that game came pretty quick off the slate, man. Pretty quick off the slate.
It did.
So then next game. Oh, God, I want to talk about this one. Houston Texans. -6.5 against the Jaguars. Dude, the Jaguars just got blown out Monday. I had them as a play.
The Texans just got blown out too, though.
They did. You're right. I think a lot.
Got blown out to a team not as good as Jacksonville got blown out to by any stretch of the imagination.
You're right. They got blown out by the Vikings, which their stock on the Vikings is high right now. But let's be real, like it's only 3 games to Sam Darnold, so get a little bit of tape on him, and see that's where the whole handicap comes into play, right? It's -6.5, but how bad are the Jags compared to how good are the Texans really? Like that's what you have to ask yourself in this situation. Like, are the Jaguars?
Jacksonville's good enough to cover 6.5 against the Texans.
Yeah, I definitely think it's fucking rough just because of the confidence of the players in the locker room. You don't know where the continuity is. I do know they're down a couple safeties, but I do think that they have a coach that can devise a game plan to keep it close at least, right? Because they're 0-3, man. I mean, I know a lot of people are saying, like, pretty much their season's done, but technically with all these extra playoff spots, you still have a slither of hope. And if you have a slither of hope, this is fucking it right here, especially a division game. They're a division opponent too, so they'll have a little more tape on what offenses ran, and this is going to be their second year seeing Stroud, so I can see where you're leaning with that in terms of like the points have some value there, right?
For sure.
Cool, man. Yeah, 6.5 over under on that's 45.5, which means I don't think that the odds makers expect too many points. But let's go to this next game.
People also have to realize, like what you said was a really good point. Jacksonville's 0-3, Tennessee's 0-3, Indianapolis is 1-2, and Houston's 2-1. So it's not like they can't make the playoffs in that division. That division is also a little struggling, you know.
Oh, it's wide open. It's wide open. It's anybody's for the taking, really. Nobody's 3-0. No. Nobody's 3-0. So yeah, they're still gonna bring it, man. It's just to me, it's Lawrence. I think I've given up on the guy. I was high on him. I'm gonna have to see him this whole year, but he threw a really bad interception, man. right to over a wide open receiver's head in the middle. I don't know. Some of those are it just looked bad, but you know how we are, man. We buy on bad news, so I guess you're expecting a bounce back from Trevor, right? Like we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens with it. But this is a good one, man. This next one right here, it's your Green Bay Packers. -2.5 against the Minnesota 3-0 Vikings. Division game in Lambeau. And it's 2.5, lane 120 at a lot of spots right now, man. I'll start real quick on this one. I feel like the line is 2.5 because they don't know if Love is going to play just yet. And it's lane 120 because they want to protect themselves just in case he does play to obviously move it to 3. But the Vikings being 3-0 are going to get a lot of public love here. We know that.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you this. Let's say Malik comes out and Jordan comes in. You think that line's going to move at all?
If Jordan comes in?
If Jordan ends up playing, you think that line's going to move?
Yes. It's going to go to
I
at
don't think
least.
that line's going to move much.
I think it's going to move to -3. Yes, I do.
So it's going to move half a point.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to move 3 points.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought you were under the assumption that it was going to go up to like 3.5, 4. I was like,
no. And if it does go to 3.5, 4, I think you have to look Vikings.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to. I think Malik is playing so well right now. He's gelling with the team that if Jordan plays, that line's not going to change to me much.
No, and credit LaFleur, right? It has to be the play calling. He's putting his quarterbacks in a comfortable situation. Let's be real.
Yeah, for sure.
He's using Malik's legs, and Malik's made some throws. Shit, man, it's crazy because that defense showed up last week against it was Will Levis, but let's be real, it doesn't matter. You show up against any NFL team. It's not like unless you're a real anemic offense, you know. You got to give some credit, and the offense, man, you guys are running the ball. Like you can run the ball, and if you guys can run the ball and play defense, and realistically, I don't even think Love, if he's not even ready yet, why even bring him back, right? That's my opinion.
Of course.
I think they won 2 games with Willis. He's not taking Love's job, let's be real. If I'm Love, I have to look at the situation and be like, let me give my knee one more week's rest, see how it goes. Because this is a winnable game, whether you have a backup or whether you have Love. It's a winnable game. But at the same time, if the line goes, like you said, 3.5, 4, I think you kind of have to look Vikings, man. You can't discredit what they've done either. So the Vikings,
no, most definitely not. But I still don't 100% believe in that.
No, I mean when you talk about believing in them, what exactly do you mean by that though? Because when you talk about believing in them, are you talking like there's 2 versions of believing in them: believing that they're a good team or believing that they're Super Bowl bound? What exactly do you mean? Yeah. So, sorry about that. I think it's cut off a little bit. And go ahead. Sorry. go for it.
Vikings. I mean, it's been 3 games. Sam Darnold's playing well, but I mean, how consistently do you think he's going to keep playing like this? Let me ask you that.
I don't know. That's the question. That's $1 million question. If he does it all year.
Question, right?
Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to the year of. I heard this somewhere. Somebody brought this up to me. Or I heard it somewhere, or somebody brought it up to me. One or the other. It's like the year that Kurt Warner played for the Rams, and everybody was expecting him to just suck it up. Eventually, like it was all luck. And for some reason, he kept it. I mean, look what happened. They won a Super Bowl, but he kept it up all year. Do you expect Sam Darnold to keep it up all year to even just make them a playoff team? You know? I don't know.
No, probably not, man.
I need to see more of it. He has
Probably
weapons.
not.
He has weapons, though. So I need to see more. I did lean the Vikings last week. I had them in a teaser. Had a little bit of pizza money on them. Nothing crazy. But this week is different. I think they're going to run into a division opponent, and they know what the Viking sets are. So Darnold is going to have to bring his talent in order to beat this team. It's not going to be a non-divisional opponent that they're facing. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So yeah, if Love comes in, I see the line moving to 3. If it goes any higher than that, you kind of have to look Vikings. But without knowing that, and if the Vikings win here, I mean, let me ask you this question, actually. If the Vikings win here, do you have to consider, like, the team a threat? Or does it matter how they win?
No, I don't think it matters. Do you?
No, I don't. I guess if they beat them by like 10 plus points, I think I'd put more respect on them than if they kind of like got a turnover or beat them with a field goal at the end of the game. That's my opinion on that. But it's still hard to win, especially in Lambeau, either way, right?
For sure.
So, all right. So let's go to the next game, man. This game is, oh god, the Bengals and the Panthers. Have you seen that line?
No, but where's the game at?
It's in Carolina.
Let me try to guess that line.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it, promise you guys. It's probably either 3 or 4. I'm going to assume because it's the Panthers, it's probably 3.5.
Yeah, it's actually it's 4. It's 4.5 at some spots.
Close.
It is close.
But that's a predictable line because the Panthers are so bad. They need a win. They're going to put it higher than 3. They're going to be just slightly higher than 3.
Yeah, because like you said, the Bengals need to win compared to the Panthers are bad.
That line is probably, right now, as all the lines we've gone over, it's probably the most accurate line, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. The most accurate. You can't really, with Cincinnati's defense, you can't put that line higher, and with the way the Panthers are, you can't really put it lower.
For sure.
And you don't know what to expect from the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton. You know, with that win last week against the Raiders, he's 5-0 against the Raiders now. That's fucking crazy.
That's not saying much, is it?
It's not. But just the fact that they went in there and they really put a beat down on them. You know, like yeah, they can win a game, but that's a beat down. I think it was a 3-touchdown game or something like that.
You know what I think the Raiders messed up on, with all due respect, was hiring their coach Pierce. When a coach leaves in middle or towards the end of the season, I feel like every interim coach sparks up their teams, and they come out and they win a couple games. The season's over. It's like, oh, we won a couple games. Let's hire him. It's
yep.
Like, come on.
Yeah. They get excited about it for sure. And what happens is, I don't know if I mentioned this on the pod last week, but
you feel me, right?
Yeah, they start coaching more aggressively. So I think
once he got the job, he was like, fuck it, I'm already paid.
He's already paid. He's gonna be conservative. He's coaching not to lose instead of to win. When you don't, it's like picking games, right? You can have 5 picks. Give 5 picks. When you have no pressure on you, whatever, you can easily go 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5. When you're gonna put like a ton of money on these games, you're gonna think about it a little harder, man. So it's the same type of formula that these coaches get, these same pressure, same pressure situation. So now instead of this play call, you're going to make this play call. I mean, I think Pierce is just coaching really. He's being conservative, man. He was never like that. He called out Devontae Adams. He's saying some people made business decisions on the field. Him and Minshew. That's a stretch, man. Saying that was That's
better for me. Hopefully he gets traded mid-season to New York.
Yeah, man. You never know. But all right. If I had to on this game, though, I know last week we said was a week for Cincinnati, right? But if you have to, I think this is if they're going to ever make a run, this is going to be the game that they're going to show up. If they don't show up this game, you could really write them off because 0-4 is tough. I think 0-3, like I said, with all the playoff spots, are going to have a shot to get in outside just because they added more spots, et cetera,
But they most definitely need to work on that secondary, the line, the defensive line, everything.
Yeah, I mean, Hubbard is doing his job, but Hubbard's not enough.
Is atrocious.
Yeah, did you know that nobody punted that game? In this,
yeah.
I don't know if it was first half or second half, but nobody punted.
I don't think even the Commanders, I don't think punted last game either.
No.
They were just kicking a lot of threes, but I don't think they haven't punted in the last 2 games.
Oh, wow. Dan Quinn, huh?
Good old Dan Quinn.
Good old Dan Quinn, man. All right, so that's that game. Let's go to Rams-Bears. That line is... What's up? It's at Soldier Field.
What's up?
Soldier Field. Line is Bears -3. What'd you say? Go Bears?
The Bears.
The Bear. You like the Bears in that one? What makes you like them in that one?
No, I'm just shouting out the name. The Bears.
Oh, the Bears.
And that's a tough game, man.
This is a perfect spot to buy low, sell high, right? You want to sell the Rams because they
Yeah.
just beat the Niners, and then the Bears are just everybody's shitting on Caleb Williams. They're pretty much shitting on that team.
I'd probably take the Bears, right?
Yeah, it's just yes, but it's also tough because they still have to cover that 3, right? And it's like, yeah, it's a spot for the Bears. It's definitely a Bears spot. But just because it's a Bears spot or it's a smarter, sharper type play doesn't mean it's going to cover, right? What you're banking on there is Caleb to show up even slightly.
For sure.
That's what you're really banking on. He had barely his first touchdown pass last week, dude.
Was that around garbage time?
No, it wasn't garbage time. It was to Romeo Odunze, the other rook. I think it was like third quarter or something like that, or second quarter. It wasn't garbage time. It wasn't garbage time, but still, like, that's, I don't know, man. Maybe he's having a tough time seeing these defenses. I know the Rams secondary, Brock Purdy just lit him up. I'm sure that Caleb Williams should be able to find holes. It's just going to be, is he going to make the throws, right?
Sure.
So, yeah, I think trends point towards the Bears. Buy low, sell high, right? The Rams, we were on the Rams in the VIP at a +7. We bought the hook on them earlier in the morning. But I don't know, man. Stafford fucking pulled shit out of his ass. He was hitting Tutu Atwell. Him and McVay, like, it's pretty.
Let me ask you this: are you shocked?
Am I shocked that they beat the Niners?
Are you shocked of how well what's his name played? Their quarterback?
Stafford?
Yeah.
No, I'm not shocked. Of course not. If I had +7 on there, there's no way. I expected him to show up, you know? Even if he had no O-line, even if he didn't have receivers, like, the guy's a gamer. He plays hurt. He's a gamer. He has a good head coach that calls plays. He's going to find somebody open, man. The guy's a gamer, end of the day. So,
For sure.
yeah, the trend here is Bears, but it's like, that's the question you have to ask yourself. Can I trust Caleb Williams? I'm going to lay that 3. Or instead of laying that 3, would you rather lay this is a game where, like, I don't do it often, but if I am going to lay the Bears, maybe I'd consider the money line more. But then again, the money line is sitting at like about -150. That's kind of high, you know?
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of high. I mean, it should be around 160 anyway at a -3, just so you know. But just so you guys know. But -150 tells me even the books are not sold, even though it's a trend spot for the Bears, that the Bears will cover. That's what that tells me, at least. So even the books are not sold. It's like, yeah, it should happen, but will it happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go to
I'd like to personally go over one game with you that I'd like to speed up and tell you which one I'd like to see your opinion on, if that's okay with you, CJ.
Yeah, go ahead. Which one? Go for it.
Curious to know what your opinion on this one, so I think it's going to be a great game. The Seahawks at Lions, 3.5.
It's 3.5 right now. It was 4. It's 3.5. Holy fuck. Okay.
Right? Like, that game is...
That's
like,
Monday night.
That's a great Monday night game. I don't care if it says.
Oh, it's a fucking great Monday night game, man. Yeah,
great
it is.
Monday night game.
It is. What do you want me to...
Let's be honest. We respect Seattle right now, right? We do.
Oh, you have to.
You have to. And it's not... And you know, Gino played well the last couple years too, so it's not like we're like, oh, Gino's eventually gonna.
No, man. Gino kind of figured shit out a little bit.
Right.
That's
right. So they have a decent quarterback, and they have a good defense, and they have weapons. So that's gonna be a good team.
Yes, it's going to be a good team, and they got a new head coach in McDonald. He came from the Ravens system, man. He had that Ravens.
Yeah, but he was that moron that didn't run the ball.
He was, but I still think. Okay, you want my opinion on that game, and I'll tell you straight up. Public perception
You're
says
a Lions guy, so I imagine you like the Lions.
Check this out. Public perception says Detroit is better. This is not me. This is public perception, right? Seattle is still known. I still think the public is, can I trust Gino, right? I'm actually like against a good team. Can you trust Gino? Because they beat the Broncos with Bo Nix, right? They beat, even though we'll go over whoever they beat later, right? But they beat the Broncos. Then they went into New England and they beat New England. It's tough to win in New England. Let's be real. In any place, okay? That was a good play or a good bet if you took them, and a good win. And at home, they absolutely mopped up the Dolphins. I don't know how much weight I could put on that one simply because it was a Skylar Thompson, but you had to put some weight on it because they demolished them, right?
They demolished them. Thank you.
Yes. And the Dolphins have weapons.
They did what they were supposed to do.
Yes.
They didn't sneakily
And mind
they
you.
dominated them on every aspect of the game. They were dominated.
Yes, and mind you, there was a ton of sharp money taken on Miami that game. So they pretty much bucked that trend on that sharp money. I wasn't on that game.
Really sharp money going in on Miami?
Yes, there's sharp money coming in on Miami.
You know what's funny? I can see that because if I was a betting man, I would have taken Miami on that line last week. I didn't, but I would have. If somebody asked me, who would you like? I would have said Miami.
Yeah, because you're real selective. So if you don't like the game, you're not even looking at it.
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
fuck
Plus,
that.
dude, we've seen a little bit of Thompson. He's not like trash.
He's not great, but he's not trash.
Yeah. He's a good backup quarterback.
Yeah, so there was some sharp money on Miami. The number moved from 6 to 4, and they totally fucking bucked the action. So when that happens, that to me tells me that team is not a joke. Exactly. Because what they did is they proved the sharp action wrong, and they proved the books wrong because the books moved the line. So they actually proved both of them wrong. So when that happens, the books have to go in and readjust, the odds makers, and they have to bring them out next week and say, how the fuck are we going to grade Seattle now? You kind of have to do that, right? So my lean, I'm going to be honest with you. My lean is on Seattle right now. Can that change? Possibly, but I don't know. My lean's on Seattle. I think the numbers are on Seattle. I feel that the Lions I've also seen some games with the Lions where Jared Goff kind of, I don't know, he doesn't come through in the red zone like against the Bucs. I actually lost that game, right? So I've seen it.
You know what's funny is you talking about him. You know what I like about the Lions, man, and what I like about their quarterback is if you look at their offense, they're a run first team, of course, right? But they are the definition of how football is played with the pocket passer. He is strictly in the pocket
He really
all the
is.
time. But that's the way football should be played. Nowadays, nobody's a pocket really passer.
No,
Nobody sits in the pocket.
No, you're running the fucking double option, whatever. Not really, but you know what I mean.
But they still play old school football, and I like that about them. Obviously,
go ahead.
Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is another one that still plays that way. But other than that, there's not many quarterbacks that are just strictly passer.
Pocket. He is strictly a pocket passer, and they also mix in new school because they'll go for it randomly. So they mix in their offense with old school and new school in terms of like the percentages of going for it, et cetera, et cetera. But
like how many more pocket quarterbacks are out there this year? How many? Name me. Go.
Like when you say pocket, because I thought of Mahomes, but he's not because he runs.
He's not.
He's not because he runs. Kirk Cousins?
Sure.
I'll say Kirk Cousins.
But there's not many.
There's not many. No, I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking. Trust me, man. I'm thinking, but there's not many for sure.
There's not many. People don't realize that. There's not many.
No, there's not. There's not. Shit, I'm even thinking Stafford. Stafford's a pocket QB. Stafford's a pocket QB.
Pocket passer. Exactly my point, though.
Herbert's a pocket passer.
If you look at all the previous champions, it's usually with the pocket passer. Yes or no?
Yeah. Because regardless if Mahomes can run, he's technically a pocket passer, but he can run.
He can run.
So you can't really classify him as only a pocket passer. That's the problem.
You can't.
That's the problem, right?
But dude, when the Niners, Brock Purdy's a pocket passer.
He is, but he'll also use his legs a little bit.
He also uses his legs.
He's not like when you're talking Goff, Stafford, and them, like they rarely use their legs. They rarely.
Aaron doesn't use his legs that much.
Or Aaron, yeah.
Aaron, but he's still a pocket passer.
Okay, yeah. So going to that's my thoughts, man. If they go into Detroit and beat them, my lean is on Seattle. I'm gonna dig more into the game. If they go into Detroit and beat Detroit, like you really have to put some fucking respect on this team. Because that defense just got a year older and a year better. And what I mean by a year older, I meant they were really young. So now they're more experienced.
No, I feel you for sure.
Yeah. So, what's your thoughts on the game, man? You brought it up. So.
Honestly, man, that's a tough game, man. It's I just couldn't touch it. I couldn't really give you an opinion. I think it's going to be a good game.
And your thoughts, you just wanted to throw it out
because of the 3.5. I might lay Seattle, but I can also see the Lions coming out there, and
Yeah, it's not a game you're very selective. I mean, I'm pretty selective, but you're very selective. It's not a game you would bet.
No.
Like, you're laying the Colts this weekend. You're going to try to make your money on, and that is what it is. That's it. Hands
Right.
down, that's how it goes.
That game's just way too hard to,
Yeah, I agree. So that's how I view that game. Over-under's at 46, so could go over, shit could go under. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
It all depends on how the game goes, right? But okay, so that's my thoughts on that game, man. We'll
Wait, quick question. Why are they doing this 2 Monday Night Football
I don't know,
games
man.
now?
Is it all year?
I hope not. Do you like it?
Nah, I don't really like it. I like watching just one.
One, yeah.
Because it's too much with two of them. You know, I know that.
Unless they can put the times apart where we can see each game.
Yes. Or if you want more games, maybe throw it in on a Saturday. I guess you can't because of college football.
Yeah, or a Friday. Then throw a Friday.
Friday, yeah. Do something like that. Don't do the two. I think the one primetime game is nice, you know? Just like Sunday night. Everybody's on that watching that one primetime game. So,
Sure.
all right, let's revert back up a little bit. I know we got distracted there. Well, not really distracted. That was a great combo. We can go into it a little more, but we'll be here for another 2 hours, so we got to speed it up. Let's go Broncos Jets, man. Broncos coming off of that win against the Bucks. Jets are -8. I think the Broncos will. I know that number looks tasty, but I just think that the Jets have 10 days off, and that line's about right. But the Broncos went into Tampa Bay, and they beat a team that didn't have any DBs in the Bucks. They really confused Mayfield on the defensive end, and they also didn't have Vita Vea. So the Bucks are missing some key pieces on defense that the Jets are not. So I think the line at 8 is about right. But if the Broncos can go into New York and win that game, you got to put some respect on their name, right? I mean, what do you think about that line that's sitting at 8?
It's hot.
It's high. It's high for sure.
It's hot.
It's high for sure. It's high for sure. So
It's a little too high for my taste buds.
yeah, you're thinking the line should be what, -7?
I was thinking
Maybe
like
you have
5.5, 6.
Oh wow, 5.5, 6. Okay, so that's. I mean, pretty much if the odds makers are confident laying an 8 out there, they're automatically thinking the Jets should cover that. Doesn't mean easy. It doesn't mean easy, right? But that's what their automatic thoughts are. But we'll see, man. I don't have too much to say on that game because honestly, I've been saying Bo Nix isn't that great, and yesterday they beat the Bucks, yes, but I need to see him play more. He did play 2 tough fucking defenses. He played in Seattle and he played against Pittsburgh. So I got to cut him a little slack for that, right? So last week he played a better defense.
Cut Bo Nix some slack. That's the day.
It's early. We'll see.
Going into it, all you kept telling me about how garbage he was.
No, I just think the guy just thinks to run. He is not a true pocket passer either. See.
Oh.
There you go. But all right, let's just get to the next game, man, because we don't need to break down.
I think Trevor Lawrence is a pocket passer.
Yeah, he is. He will run once in a while, but he's a pocket passer, yeah.
He's a pocket passer.
But it's not saying much with that guy, right?
Right now, it's not. Poor guy.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna go Eagles. Well, real quick, just remember, I want everybody that's listening to remember the Jets have had 10 days off to prepare for this game, and they're playing at home again, so they don't have to travel anywhere. They're gonna be prepared for that game. All right, next game. Philadelphia Eagles, Tampa Bay Bucks. Oh man, there is fucking injuries up the ass in this game. Like I said, the Bucks have injuries.
I think that'll be a good game too.
That's going to be a good game. The Eagles have injuries. They have Lane Johnson's out. They have now Devontae Smith is in concussion protocol. They don't have obviously AJ Brown. No, I don't think he's going to play. I think they're missing another lineman, but then the Bucks are missing guys on defense. I think that should be an interesting game, man. Interesting game for sure.
Is what's his name supposed to play on the Eagles? AJ Brown.
AJ Brown. They don't. I don't think he is, but they're not sure yet. It's still questionable.
Oh yeah.
Still questionable. So.
Yeah, CJ.
Yeah. So that's that game. Over under on that game is 43.5. I personally think that I don't know. I think 43.5 just tells me that it's going to be a defensive game, and points might come at a premium. I was personally on the Saints last week against the Eagles when the Eagles converted a 3rd and 17 to beat them. Pretty much to beat them because they got the ball like at the 4-yard line. After that, all I had to do was walk it in. But the 43.5 tells me that game everybody struggled. I think the defense, everybody's offense struggled. I think the defenses came to play for the Eagles and the Saints. But I guess what I'm trying to get to is the Eagles' defense is starting to gel a little bit in the middle. Obviously, they have Carter in the middle, and they have the run stuffer. So I definitely think that they're starting to play better in the middle, and they're starting to really impose their will on defense, kind of like they did a couple years ago with their front line on D. I do believe that they'll be missing a DB in that game themselves. Not 100% sure, but I think it's Gardner Johnson. We'll have to check on that one. But next game is, by the way, if I had to go over-under on the 43.5, just off looking at it like this and all the information that I have, for sure I'd go under the 43.5 right there. That's just my take on that. But next game is Commanders and Cardinals. Woo-wee! Commanders and Cardinals. There's fireworks on Monday night with the Commanders, obviously coming off of a high beating the Cincinnati Bengals. But they're pretty much putting that number up at 3.5. 3.5. Arizona Cardinals are favored at home. They just lost to the Lions last week. The Commanders are coming in off of a high beating the Bengals. If realistically, if I had to pick a side in this game today, right now, this moment, I would just do the typical buy low, sell high, right? So, like, I'm probably going to buy on the Arizona Cardinals, and I'm going to sell on the Washington Commanders because I definitely believe that the Bengals defense is not that great. And the Cardinals defense, yeah, did the Lions start off hot and score on them at the beginning? Yes, but then they kind of buckled down, and then second half they kind of gelled in a little bit better, and they played defense a little bit better. They had some chances. They did have the Cardinals had a pick six that didn't get called. That should have got. There was a lot of controversy on it. That game could have went a little different. They did compete with the Lions. The Lions at the end, I think, were just too much. But yeah, man, Cardinals, Commanders, minus 3.5. If I had to take something like right now, today, I'd for sure go with the Cardinals. Not for sure. I say for sure, like that just be my answer, because we'll buy low on the stock and then sell high on the Commanders stock. The over-under on that one is 49.5, though. One thing I was considering, or just thinking in general, because I want to deep dig into some stats, but 49.5 for the Commanders and the Cardinals, the over-under. I think there's a little value in the over. I know a lot of people might expect them to score a lot, and usually I try to stay away from that because the odds makers shift the line higher, or they're right about at the line where it should be. But I can definitely see Murray scoring some points, and I can see the Commanders moving the ball. The half is what got me, because I think the line was like 46 at some point, and now it's moved all the way up to 49.5. So if it was just 49, it'd be a little different, because we've seen a lot of games end on 49. But my initial lean, other than like if you had a gun in my head, I'd go Cardinals today. My initial lean would be on the over on that 49 Washington Commanders and Arizona Cardinals. What do you think about that?
Why do you think that line jumped so much?
A little bit of overreaction from, I'd say a little bit of overreaction from everything that's happened with the scoring on Monday night, right? Like, yeah, they pretty much blew up the Bengals. So
a lot of games went over last week, right? More than usual.
You know what? Actually, more games went over, yeah. And you brought up a good point. I don't know if it was on the pod or just when we were talking. There is a lot more teams playing too high safety, so they're making you work.
That's all it is.
Points. Yeah, it's too high safety, so they want you to make a mistake.
I think 89% of teams are running that.
Yeah, which is kind of smart, I guess, right? Like
you can't get beat. You can't get beat down the field.
No. So that's what I would say over on that one. And let's go to this next game. Niners, Pats. Niners are laying 10, man, against the Pats. And the Niners have injuries, man. We have Hargrave is now hurt. That's a big defensive front in the middle, a defensive threat in the middle. That's going to hurt against the run game, especially with Stevenson on the Patriots. But I do expect the Niners to bounce back. I think for the Rams, I didn't think the Rams were going to end up winning. They just had some fucking crazy sequences at the end where they ended up coming out with the dub. But Purdy didn't play bad last week, man. He had over 300 yards and 3 TDs. It was just one of those classic cases where the Rams never gave up, you know?
Yeah, they were down 14-0 early.
No, yeah, they never give up. They never give up. But the over-under is at 40.5 right here. So I could tell you already this is going to be a defensive type of game.
For sure.
It seems like it. I think points will be a little bit at a premium. Usually when points are at a premium, you want to play the plus 10, right? But realistically, like, they could also be at a premium because the Niners are just not going to let the Pats score.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is a tough one, man. What do you lean on this one?
The game's in NE?
No, the game is in San Fran.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Levi's Stadium, man.
I mean, I don't think there's much to say on that game.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you know what? The Niners are hurt. They lost 2 straight, so, you know.
They're hurt. They lost Hargrave. Bosa's a little banged up. Ward's a little banged up. Kittle might not play again. No McCaffrey. No Debo.
Wait. Kittle may not play for the rest of the year?
No, I said he may not play again, like, this week. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I'm personally, to me, there's no real value there. That's my opinion. I think the line is about what it should be. So we'll go to that next game, man. Let's go to Raiders -2 against the Browns. Raiders at home. What do you think? I think Raiders will come out a little more motivated, but doesn't mean they're going to win. I mean, it's going to go either one of two ways, man. They're going to come out motivated and wanting to win, or they're going to come out flat because they're pissed off that their coach called them out. One or the other, right?
Yeah.
It could go one or the other. But then again, like, I don't know, the Browns just fucking got worked by the Giants. I mean, is that credit to the Giants or the Browns they just suck?
Because I think both these teams suck and both their quarterbacks suck.
Yeah, there you go. So I think -2 is like the right line. They're just giving the Raiders 2 because they're at home.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so let's go to the next game, though. I want to talk about this one. Chargers, Chiefs. That sucks, man. It's in LA. I really wanted to fucking see Herbert with Harbaugh against KC, but I don't think we're going to get to see it, especially with the line being 7.5. I don't think he's playing. I don't think he should have played last week. I don't know why the fuck they played him last week. To me, that was stupid because you still lost the game, and none of it made sense to me. I don't know.
Yeah, but they were in the game with him. They were in the game from the get-go.
They were in the game. They scored first and everything, but I just still feel like
he got hurt. He came out and it was pretty much over.
Yeah, but this is a big game for them, man.
What do you put Herbert's stock value at?
Well, when you say stock value, give me a little bit of an example of, like,
how do you rate him? How do you rate him as a stock? Is he up and down a lot? Is he good?
Oh, got you. Right now, minus the injury, I would say he was trending up with Harbaugh.
Okay.
I think he's trending up. What do you think?
I think so, yeah. It was kind of too early for us to say 2 weeks and a half that he played.
Of course.
I still think he's a good quarterback. I think he can still put the ball where the ball needs to be placed.
He has a cannon.
He's got a great arm. So yeah, I mean, I still think he's up there.
But you know what? Going to this game, the Chiefs have actually had red zone problems, which is fucking rare with Andy Reid. He's going to clean that up. I don't know when. I don't know if it's going to be this week, but I can promise you he's going to clean that up. 7.5 is a lot, man. I don't care if you have Taylor Heineke back there at quarterback. Taylor Heineke has experience, and Harbaugh is going to make this a fucking grimy game. I can promise you that.
I mean, if you look at Harbaugh, what he's done with the San Diego Chargers, which is amazing, is what? A, be a great defensive team. 2, pound the rock.
Yes, and look what
he plays.
Yes, and that's how he played. He instilled that in them from game 1 already.
Right.
That's fucking huge, man. To me, you have to take the points here if you're going to play it. If you're going to play it, you have to take the points. Heineke has experience. They're going to be at home. Harbaugh knows he needs his game, and they're gonna like I said, they're gonna make it an ugly game. If you're giving over a touchdown in an ugly game, like, that's not bad value. I won't be surprised if the Chargers pull out a W. I'm not saying they are, but I won't be surprised. Will you? Division game.
No.
Not at all. I'm excited to watch that game, though. What do you think about?
I don't think any team really surprises me when they win, except the Bengals yesterday. When they lost, I was shocked they lost that game.
Yeah, for sure.
Shocked they lost that game.
So what are you thinking with this line? You think it's too high?
Well, if Herbert's not playing, then no.
Yeah, it's not. Okay. Yeah, it's Mahomes and it's the Chiefs, obviously. So.
But you know what? It could be high because the Chargers are still supposed to have a good defense.
Exactly. When you have a good defense, you already know.
You can get points quicker.
Yep. So, All right, well, let's go next game. Oh, this is going to be a good one, bro. Have you seen the Sunday night game?
Which one is it?
Ravens minus 2.5 at home against the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. Oh, look at that smile on your face. So, you're like, oh, yeah, this is going to be one of those days where I wake up on the couch and just go to bed on the couch all fucking day.
What a game. What a game.
Oh.
Sunday night. This is the first primetime game I feel like that's to this level.
Yeah, for sure. I agree, man. It's definitely a good game. It's definitely going to be a good game. But what are your initial thoughts on it?
You know what's fascinating, brother? What people don't realize is that when you have a really, really good wide receiver who bitches and complains a lot, like look at the Chiefs, got rid of Tyreek Hill, won 2 Super Bowls. Look at the Buffalo Bills, got rid of Diggs, 3-0. Looks like their offense hasn't gotten better than last year.
It looks like it got way better. That whole receiver thing, man. I think it's yeah. I honestly think it's.
But we also have to realize, also, I'm sure you agree, Josh Allen is an amazing quarterback. That helps too.
Oh, of course, but look what happened when the Chiefs lost. Well, like you said, what happened when the Chiefs lost Tyreek Hill? Good quarterbacks like Mahomes are just going to find somebody to throw the ball to. Or sometimes that's a lot of pressure on them, man. Sometimes they don't want that pressure on them. They want to play how they want to play. Throw it to whoever they feel is open. And I think that's working out for Josh Allen right now.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I don't know. There's a lot to say in that one. What do you think, man? Early thoughts. Tell me your early thoughts.
That's a flip of a quarter, man.
That's a what?
It's a flip of a quarter. This is a really hard game to. I think the line's probably right.
Yeah.
That's tough. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't know how to.
Well, right now, also when you think about it,
Why don't we ask you, CJ? Who do you like in this game?
we were talking to somebody who's gotten burned by the Bills 2 times this year. Let's throw that out there. But also, you have to remember.
Why do you think that is?
Why do I think that is?
Hey, you think you've just doubted them?
No, I didn't doubt them because I still thought they were going to be a playoff team. I really did. They have
them twice.
They have Allen, right? Yeah. I just thought the spots for the other 2 teams were a spot where they typically trend to cover. Truthfully, that's what it was.
It was a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. You were like, you know what? I need to see a little bit more of Josh Allen.
In the playoffs.
And you still bet against him twice.
No,
this year. Absolutely no respect for Josh Allen. Let's be honest.
In the playoffs, I said that. In the playoffs.
But like, do you have any ounce of respect for him? Keep it real. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, yes, I do. Of course, I do.
Who do you think is the second best quarterback?
I think the second best quarterback is now Josh Allen.
Now?
I used to tell you I used to put Burrow there, but he's been getting hurt too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, but go ahead. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted you because I remember you were a Josh Allen doubter.
I still need to see him in the playoffs, man. Prove it to me in the playoffs.
And then prove it to you against Kansas City when they went into double overtime, and he did.
No, he has to get the W, man. He can't go down as the guy who never went to
the Chiefs right now the last 2 years in the playoffs. Nobody's beat.
No, yeah, he still has to show me. Look, man, there's been some questionable throws he's had. Last year, he really didn't have anybody, let's be real. Like, I think the guys that he had last year, like Shakur and all them, now this year, playing with the year with him, like you said, take Diggs out of the mix. He doesn't feel like he has to get the ball to Diggs, has helped that offense out, I feel, a little bit.
You heard the comment he laid last night?
Who, Diggs?
Yeah, we shouted out. He pretty much told Diggs, he's like, it's a lot easier when you don't have somebody asking for the ball all the time.
Oh, he did say that, yeah.
Said that, yeah.
Check this out, though. Also, Cook has been on a fucking mission, dude. Those run plays they're running for him, he's been balling. Let's not discredit him either. He's also helping that offense tremendously.
He can also catch.
Yes. And you got a running quarterback who could dip it down, drop it down to Cook, or who can fucking throw it on a line anywhere. Yeah, you're going to have a chance. Just get that defense in line and you're going to be good. I think the Ravens beating Dallas in Dallas, that doesn't surprise me. I don't put any more respect on them than I should have. Realistically, I think the Ravens should be 2-1. They should have beat the Raiders. So I think you should have a 3-0 team going in and play against a 2-1 team. That's just my opinion. This is a tough fucking game, man. Talking to somebody who has gotten burned by Josh Allen twice doesn't mean I'd lay Josh Allen because typically this is a Ravens spot because it's a high spot on the Bills and kind of not really a low spot on the Ravens. They just won last week, but the Bills are priced heavy right now. The Bills being priced heavy, any team, it just doesn't matter. I don't want to take a bad number. You know what I mean? But when you put human element into play, I think the Bills are also on a mission this year to shut everyone the fuck up. Truthfully, I really do. I really think Josh Allen is playing with a chip on his shoulder that Diggs isn't there. There wasn't any fucking talk or chatter about the Bills or even Josh Allen coming into the year, and he's fucking on a mission.
Was what's the offense gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. And let's
like positive.
Yeah, no, and look what's happening. So I don't know, man. That's a fucking tough one, for real. That's a tough one. I know you already lean Bills just because you're going to lean Josh Allen. You're just going to enjoy that game. You're going to make your fucking racks on Indianapolis Colts, and you're going to enjoy that game.
But I'll tell you right now, I'm definitely looking forward to that game because if Josh Allen wins that game in Baltimore, they will go down as the best team right now.
1,000%. Yes, even above the Chiefs. Yes,
above the Chiefs if they can win in that.
Yes.
Big if.
All right, so. Can't wait for that one, man. Titans, Dolphins -1 at home.
How good of a game is that going to be?
What a fucking shit game.
Shit game. Who the fuck wants to watch that, bro?
Will Levis,
and it's
Skylar Thompson.
Nighter?
I know, man. No, it's not the sexiest game, man, but to me,
it'll be a good game because both teams are trash.
Yeah, but you know what, man? I think it's -1 Dolphins. You have to lean Dolphins just a little bit right now, right? Just lean them. Doesn't mean you play them. Just lean them. Just because it's like you're 1-2. If you want any fucking hope of getting
it goes back to what you said about Baltimore. The Tennessee could be 2-1.
You're right. They should have easily beat the Bears, and they could have beat the Jets. They were up on them.
Dude, the biggest play was that fumble at halftime that gave them no points.
Yep.
They were about to take I think it was a 3. They were up 10-0, weren't they? And they're about to take bro. And that completely changed the complexity of the game.
And he threw a pick in the end zone.
Right. He also fumbled because he threw it back.
Yeah, so he two things, man.
Well, they were beating the Jets pretty handily in that first half.
Yeah, but I just think what the Packers did to them running the ball, and I know that the Dolphins are a run-first type of team. I do feel like they can exploit that on them. We'll see. We'll see if Tennessee fixed those issues. It's a tough fucking game to even be on, you know?
No, I feel you. What do you think of? Do you think the Packers are legit?
Do I think that the Packers are legit? You know what? Yes, of course I think they're legit. And why I'm going to say they're legit is because even before when we did our other podcast, even at the beginning of the year when we had like the over-unders on everything, I had over on the Packers. I had mentioned that. I had put that in. I had Jordan Love MVP. You had Jordan Love MVP. So I think yes, of course I think they're legit. I mean, just because Malik Willis is at quarterback right now doesn't really mean, at least to me, it doesn't really mean that the team isn't going to succeed, right? He's 2-0 as their quarterback. One of them at home and then one of them on the road. So, excuse me. So, yeah, I mean, going back to that, of course, I definitely think they're legit. And once they get Jordan Love back, I can definitely see them making a run like I expected them to. The only thing is their division. You have Detroit in your division. I don't think the Bears are gonna. I don't think the Bears are gonna actually do too much in your division. But the Vikings have just come out of nowhere, and they're 3-0. And I think Brian Flores, with a lot of the defensive schemes that he's been doing, I think that he's been doing extremely well. So, yeah, I do. I think they're legit. I think it's gonna be a race between. I didn't think the Vikings would be this far ahead. Maybe they'll fade off like later towards the end of the year. But I think this is pretty much going to be a Packer, Lion, and Viking race towards the end of the year. You're going to get, I think, one of these teams in the wild card. I don't know which one of these teams it'll be, but I'm pretty sure one of these teams could be in the wild card because as I'm looking at the teams right now, if you give me a quick second, I'm trying to see anybody else who could be in the wild card or give them a run for their money. And there's a lot of parity in the NFL, so obviously there could be a lot of teams out there that could give them a run for their money. But that's one of the right now to me in the NFC. That's one of the toughest divisions that I'm thinking about. So yeah, I would say that the Packers are legit. And when it comes to another team that okay, so this might sound a little outlandish, but I know the Bengals lost on Monday. This game that they're going into Carolina, to me, tells me like it's a must win for them. I don't know if they're gonna win, but it's a must win. The fact that they're going into Carolina, the Bengals are a team that starts off slow. This game could help them kind of like get a little bit of momentum moving forward. And the Bengals typically start off slow. I actually expect the Bengals eventually this year to make a run and at least get close maybe into that wild card spot. It's going to be real tough for them to really get back into the race. I mean, kind of not, right? Because the Ravens are also 1-2. So the Ravens being 1-2, I just think the Bengals, like, not now, but they usually gel later in the year. They'll still have an outside shot to make noise. And that's like later, obviously. I was talking about the Bengals.
Oh, yeah.
Later. Because the Ravens are 1-2, man.
They can still win that division.
Yeah. So, you got the Steelers are the ones that are what? 3-0. But let's be real, anybody can fade.
You know what's weird about the Steelers? You think the Steelers are just that well coached that they're always in it?
Yes. He's always going to compete, man. So.
How does he do that?
I don't know. He just does. But yeah, man. So I do think the Packers are legit. And I was going to go over the next game right now, which is the Seahawks and the Lions. But we kind of already did that earlier. It's going to be a good fucking game. Great Monday night game. I definitely won't be having my eyes on the Titans and Dolphins if that game's on. Right. Unless I take a side. Hey, unless I take a side on the Titans Dolphins and then you call me and you're like, why the fuck are you watching that game? Why aren't you watching the other one?
Sure.
But yeah, man,
who you like in the Lions game?
What's up?
Tell the audience who do you favor in that game.
Oh, I told you I'm already initially I'm leaning Seattle. Doesn't mean I'm playing them. I actually have to look into it, but I am leaning Seattle. That's for sure.
Because of the half.
Because of the half, and not just that, because I think they've done enough to prove to me. By the way, they also went into Detroit last year and beat Detroit. I had Detroit in that game. The line was -4.5. That is a great fucking... Hold up. Check this out. I had Detroit in that game. The line was -4.5. Seattle went in and they beat them. This year, the line is now 3.5, which you can find 4 at some places. I checked. So you're telling me that they're the same teams that they were last year, or are you saying Seattle's a little bit better this year? To me, Seattle's a little bit better this year. So if that's the case, you have to put a little more respect on Seattle, right? Line-wise.
Yeah, but then I can ask you, are the Lions better than last year?
I think they're very comparable, man. I've seen them play some games, and I think they're just as good. So we'll see, man. But yeah, that'll do it for all the games this week, man. Obviously for the Thursday night one, you're on the boys to come through, and I gave that prop on Daniel Jones under 202.5 passing yards. We'll see how that pans out, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you knew what the thing was. Yeah,
202.5 under. So we'll see, man. As always,
I do have a question.
Yeah.
I pay attention to a lot of your plays and stuff, and I see you've been really, really hot in baseball. So, if I'm a fan, how would I reach out for your picks and stuff like that?
Oh, you can go to you can find me on Telegram at CJ Wins or on Instagram at CJ Wins. That's CJWINNS. Or you can go to my website, cjwins.com, and then all the packages and the information is right there. So either way, you can contact me there too. Actually, I was just going to say that. There's also the CJ Wins app. You can contact me on there. The CJ Wins app has an opinion checklist, which is my opinion on the games. I'm not telling you my play. It's kind of like how we go over things, right? I have a checklist, helps you out if you're looking at a game. There's some my UFC guy gives picks on there. I don't do UFC at all, but UFC guy gives picks on there, and then you have some player props that my prop guy does. I'm not a big prop guy, you know. I'm mainly sides and totals, but yeah, that's how you find it, man. Hopefully the heat can continue, because I know week 2 wasn't good for us. But you know what? Everybody's due for a bad week. It's how you bounce back from it and how you stay disciplined from it, right? That's the number one thing. It's how you stay disciplined from it. So, but yeah, man.
Thank you.
No, for sure. If I can't wait to do this again with you next week, and then obviously we'll have another Thursday night pick, and then you can give your slammer. By the way, your slammer's on the Indianapolis Colts +1. See how that goes. Indianapolis Colts +1. Let's see. Bucket, it's already in. By the way, I'll use steak dinner because 2 weeks ago I didn't tell the audience. I did tell you. The fucking Vikings ended up beating the 49ers when you said I'll just take the number.
You know what I realized is you've lost a lot of steak dinners to me.
I know. I got it. Fucking, I'm gonna end up buying you the fucking steakhouse at some point because I have. So whenever there's a steak dinner bet, just go opposite of me there. Moral of the story. But thanks for coming on again, man, and look forward to doing this again with you next week.
Likewise, man. I appreciate you having me on. And again, guys, Colts is a good play, I promise you.
There it is, man. Hey, if he said it again, you better roll with it.
Right?
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll follow up with that one next week. We'll start off the pod with that one. But hopefully you guys have a profitable weekend. Hopefully you guys win this Thursday night game if you're on it. Whatever side you're on, I hope you win. But if you took T's side with this pizza money, hope the Cowboys do it for you guys. Other than that,
if you guys really want to win, you got to follow the CJ app.
The CJ app, there you go, man. If you guys really want to win long term, right? Because T is a value better. He's gonna play he's not gonna play every day. He's gonna find weaknesses in line. Usually him and I agree, but I do this every day.
The one that really puts in the work and will give you solid plays. I promise you.
And it's what I do every day. So again, you're not gonna win them all, man. But as long as you win them most, right? That's what we say.
100%.
But yeah, man. Thanks again, and look forward to doing it next week. Hope you guys have a profitable weekend. And we'll see you guys same time next week. We'll be dropping the pod again on Thursday with the pick for Thursday, man.